on January 20, 2025. That order aimed to end automatic birthright citizenship for children born in the U.S. to parents who are undocumented or on temporary visas.
And here's where it gets really interesting, and it's a truly crucial point for you to grasp. The ruling, authored by Justice Amy Coney Barrett, did not address the constitutionality of the executive order itself.
Yeah, and for me, that's almost the most jarring part of this. It just feels like they've left the fundamental question completely dangling. So if they didn't rule on the order's legality, what did they actually focus on?
Well, the court's focus was squarely on judicial authority, specifically limiting the scope of what are called nationwide injunctions.
Okay, those injunctions that block a policy everywhere.
Exactly. They ruled that individual federal judges lack the authority to issue those universal injunctions that block federal policies across the entire country. Instead, these injunctions should generally be limited to the specific plaintiffs or perhaps the regions involved in the lawsuit.
And what was the immediate practical impact of that specific decision?
Well, this ruling partially stayed injunctions that federal judges had already issued in Maryland, Massachusetts, and Washington state.
Okay.
What this means, practically speaking, is that President Trump's executive order could potentially take effect in up to 28 states, the ones that did not challenge it in court. And this could happen after a 30-day period following the ruling. So we're talking roughly around July 27, 2025.
Right. So just to be crystal clear for everyone listening, the court explicitly avoided deciding whether Trump's executive order actually violates the 14th Amendment.
Correct.
The majority opinion stressed that their decision was about the power of the judiciary, the role of the courts, not the merits of the executive order itself. Did they leave any other legal doors open for those challenging the order?
They did, actually. The court left open the possibility for plaintiffs to seek class action lawsuits.
Ah.
That's when a large group of individuals with similar claims sort of band together to sue, aiming for a ruling that applies to everyone in that defined group. It falls under Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 23b2.
Right.
This could allow them to obtain broader relief, maybe statewide or even nationwide, but such lawsuits have to meet very strict certification standards. It's not easy.
Understood. And how did the dissenting justices react to this? We're talking about Justices Sotomayor, Kagan, and Jackson, known for their more liberal views.
Oh, their dissents were incredibly forceful, really strong language. They argued that the ruling fundamentally undermines the judiciary's ability to enforce constitutional rights.
Wow.
Justice Sotomayor, she called it a travesty for the rule of law. And Justice Jackson warned of an existential threat to the rule of law, suggesting it could open the door to unchecked executive power.
Strong words.
Very strong. They also explicitly pointed plaintiffs towards pursuing those class action lawsuits as, the necessary next step.
Okay. So to kind